there's not much call for imaginary friends lately, so,
Inside Out was an instant hit when it premiered in theaters in 2015. It dared to break the narrative mold of other films of the time and took its audience into the mind of 11-year-old Riley Anderson. It also provides an upbeat and fresh perspective on emotions and how they shape our experiences. The film's central conflict follows Riley as her family moves from Minnesota to San Francisco, and such a drastic change can cause complications for someone so young. Riley's core emotions try to help her navigate the change, but it's not easy, leaving joy and sadness stranded from headquarters and lost within the recesses of Riley's mind. The premise is fun and leaves the audience wondering what happens next, especially when Joy ends the story by saying, after all, Riley's 12 now, what could happen? The answer to her question has finally arrived years later with the recent release of the Inside Out 2 trailer. After a brief time skip, Riley's 13th birthday approaches alongside a group of brand new emotions in headquarters. Anxiety is the only new emotion in the trailer, but the promotional poster reveals 3 other characters: embarrassment, ennui, and envy. As there are several years between the first and second film, we thought it best to revisit the franchise and break down everything we know about the Inside Out universe before the sequel's premiere.
You know, you guys don't have to come to every game.
Are you kidding?
The first film begins with Joy talking about Riley, and we witness her phasing into existence when Riley first experiences joy as a newborn. After a few seconds, sadness manifests, and she's eventually followed by Riley's other core emotions: anger, fear, and disgust, as she ages into her toddler years. Together, these 5 emotions live in headquarters, guiding Riley through life and helping her make meaningful memories. Aside from Riley, other people have the same 5 core emotions driving their decisions. However, there always appears to be one emotion that leads the rest, usually being the final say when significant things happen or trouble arises. For example, Riley is described as a happy person throughout the story, so much so that her family depends on her to keep a positive attitude. Riley's reputation as a happy person likely stems from joy being the leading emotion that makes most of her decisions. In contrast, Riley's mother has sadness as her primary emotion, so she has a much softer and more empathetic approach to situations. Riley's dad, who has anger as his primary emotion, becomes easily frustrated and makes snap judgments. For everyone, their emotions develop naturally with age to serve a primary function. While some emotions are stronger than others, they all have a vital role in maintaining the mental health of their person. Joy's primary function throughout the film is to keep Riley happy. She turns negative situations into positive ones, keeping Riley one step away from joking around or cheering up her family members when the going gets tough. However, she can take her role as Riley's primary emotion too far, as she often represses sadness, forcing her to remain in a circle so that she couldn't interact or help Riley, who was struggling with moving to San Francisco.
Cares very deeply about things being fair.
So that's how you want to play it, old man? No dessert? Oh, sure.
In prohibiting sadness from performing her role, Riley can't process the move healthily. Sadness's purpose is to help Riley slow down and cope with difficult situations happening in her life. Without crying or releasing pent-up stress, the negative feelings will build to a boiling point. Like Riley trying to run away, these pent-up negative emotions can often manifest as anger. For Riley, anger dedicates himself to ensuring she receives fair treatment. He also calls out any injustices that she encounters. Sometimes anger can overreact, like when he encourages Riley to yell at her parents during dinner. He also gave Riley the idea to run away, encouraging her to travel across the city and book a bus ticket without adult supervision. Fear is responsible for keeping Riley from making such dangerous decisions. However, her desire to return home to Minnesota alongside her newly developed depression convinces Riley to disregard her worries. On an average day, fear keeps Riley safe from various scenarios, from tripping over misplaced wires or experiencing fear-inducing situations. When Riley attends her first day at her new school, fear lists potential disasters, ranging from spontaneous combustion to getting called on by the teacher. Fear isn't the only one concerned about social situations. Disgust helps Riley figure out what she likes and dislikes. Disgust helps in small ways, like establishing Riley's dislike of broccoli. She also assists Riley in establishing a sense of fashion and making new friends. Disgust wants Riley to seem cool and popular, so she dictates how she will behave when the potential of new friends arises.
Riley, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
No! Pretend we can't speak English.
Don't worry, I got that.
Although Joy is the group's leader, all 5 emotions make memories with Riley. Throughout the day, headquarters fills with memories made by each emotion, later sent down to long-term memory at the end of each day. Long-term memory is a series of shelves holding every memory Riley's ever had. They can sometimes get sent back to headquarters so Riley can recall information. Some memories, mostly the old ones, will fade, and mind workers send them into the memory dump, so Riley will forget them forever. The mind workers ensure everything in Riley's mind stays up and running, either by running the train of thought, protecting the subconscious, or producing dreams. There is also a subclass of memory that stays in headquarters. The core memories are meaningful moments in Riley's life that helped create crucial parts of her personality. Each core memory powers an island of personality. Without them, Riley's positive demeanor begins to fade until she finds life unenjoyable. Riley's original islands are called Goofball, Honesty, Friendship, Hockey, and Family. During the first film's epilogue, she established multiple new islands, including Fashion Island, Boy Band Island, and Tragic Vampire Romance Island. Aside from being a fun component of Riley's mind, these islands must stay up and running to keep Riley happy. If the islands fail or shut down, she can no longer enjoy her favorite things. For example, when the core memory powering Goofball Island falls, the island stops working, preventing Riley from taking the railing down a flight of stairs. Additionally, if one of the islands isn't running and Riley does something that contradicts its morals, then the island will fracture and fall to be forgotten. In the film, Riley steals her mom's credit card to buy a bus ticket. In doing so, she destroys Honesty Island.
Sadness, what are you doing? It looked like one was crooked, so I opened it and then it fell out.
Without Honesty Island, Riley appears incapable of telling the truth or making reasonable judgments. The same goes with her other islands, and when all facets of her personality break down, she becomes depressed. The film symbolizes this drop in Riley's mental health by blacking out the control panel in headquarters. When the emotions lose access to the control panel, they lose contact with Riley, meaning they can no longer dictate how she interacts with the world around her. Seemingly, when someone loses contact with their emotions, they will follow life on autopilot. Riley's battle with depression shows how important it is for emotions to stick with their predetermined roles. Riley needs to feel every emotion to continue living healthily, and that's why Sadness's acceptance in the group becomes the secondary conflict throughout the film. So far, Inside Out 2 appears to be shaping into another emotional and heartfelt journey for the adolescent Riley. The original film doesn't hide that growing up is hard, even when emotions can be adaptive. Joy and the others will continue to grow alongside Riley as she establishes who she is. Inside Out is remarkable because even though the main character is an 11-year-old, it's clear that her parents and classmates also have emotions that care for them just as deeply. These 5 core emotions make the foundation that the Inside Out franchise can stand on. Although everyone appears to have the same 5 core emotions, the recently released trailer for Inside Out 2 implies that anyone can have more than those emotions to help them navigate life. The sequel will undoubtedly introduce some of these emotions and the scenarios they work best in, broadening the world of Inside Out into something new and exciting.
Fitting out the car window.
Definitely not when Dad was singing.
Wearing a seatbelt.
Oh, what about the time with the dinosaur?
An audience has never experienced the human psyche quite like Inside Out. The idea of having emotions sitting at a control panel to dictate your every reaction makes navigating life feel a little less scary, especially when those emotions have your best intentions at heart. Joy does everything she can to ensure Riley remains happy, even when the cards seem stacked against her. The same conflicts from the first movie will arise in the second, but instead of Joy learning to accept madness, she'll now have anxiety and 3 other emotions to contend with.
Oh, Sadness, we don't have time for this. We'll just have to go around.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You can fix this, right, Joy?
I don't know.
Oh.
But we have to try.